Hi Kaki Watsons, welcome to Stay Healthy Expert Tips. In today's video, we have Miss Sabrina from Diabetes Malaysia to understand more about non-communicable diseases, which are hypertension, diabetes, and also high cholesterol. Hi Sabrina.
Hi Cheryl, thank you for having me here today.
As for the three diseases that we mentioned above, prevention is very important. What can we do in terms of prevention then?
Okay, for prevention, right, the most important thing is for monitoring. And this we can do at home. Many available tools and devices that can be used at home. For example, glucose monitoring, just having a blood pressure set to monitor your blood pressure. Yeah, and even now, uric acid, which is one of the things that we always thought needed to be done in the hospital, can even be done just by a finger prick.
Who should actually do home monitoring?
Okay, if you ask us as a general, everyone should do home monitoring. It's very important. But to be specific, people above the age of 40, right? Obese patients or very big size patients, or we say above BMI of 23, yeah? People with joint pain, maybe they're having gout, or people with a history of stroke or heart disease, then they should be regularly monitored.
Yeah.
Ladies who had previously got during pregnancy, they have high blood pressure or diabetes, they should monitor themselves because it is predisposing to the condition later on.
They have higher risk to get.
Correct. And high cholesterol. We know of people even at the age of 20, right? Having high cholesterol, but you think you're healthy, you think you're doing sports, you're active, but you do not know what's happening inside. So it's always good to monitor yourself.
What kind of home monitoring would you recommend then?
Okay, there are lots of monitoring devices that are available in the market. Most importantly, they must be MDA approved, means they have the proper authorization, with the required certificate, which is safe to be used, right? And nowadays we even have monitoring devices that have 3-in-1. Okay, this 3-in-1 monitoring device, right, more for blood taking sense, like for diabetes, the sugar level, cholesterol, and even uric acid. Uric acid is, for like gout, where you have pain in the joint and all that. So you can know, like sometimes when you eat certain things like anchovies or nuts, then you find that your joints are painful. So you can actually check and get to know whether it's high or not, your uric acid is high. So avoid that food. So let's say, for example, a blood pressure reading, right? You're already on some blood pressure medication, but let's say you feel giddy or, something like that, then you can check your blood pressure, right? You check, and then it's very high. So you will record this down, and then you will retake it again after a rest of 10 minutes. If it doesn't come down and it's persistently high, you have these headaches, then you'll know, next step, go see a doctor, right? To bring the blood pressure down. Or, for example, a sugar level. For those people who are on insulin, very important, because then you will know, is the dose correct, or you're hypoglycemia, or you have low blood sugar. So do you need to take a sweet? Others you can go into coma from this. This is called self-empowerment, which we are moving towards. Monitor yourself. With the readings that you get, you will know what to do. Do you need to make an earlier appointment? Do you continue with the current dosage? You can always call up your physician to then further check.
Are the home monitoring devices affordable?
Yes, the home monitoring devices very affordable, right? You can get a good monitoring device within a range of $100 to $250. You have it in 3-in-1, so you actually save rather than getting 3-4 different sets of monitoring devices, right?
Yeah, do they actually have a shelf life for the devices?
Okay, devices don't actually have a shelf life, but if you're talking about the strips that you need to use, yes, they do have a shelf life. But it comes in bottles of like 25 or 10 strips, so it would definitely be used up before the expiry date.
How about the maintenance then? Is it hard to maintain?
Nowadays, everything is disposable. So the lancet that you use, or what we call the needle to prick, after you use, and it's safe, there has a safety feature. So after that, you throw away so that it's safe, right? And the meter itself is just basically clean it with water. You do not need to use any, soak it in any sterilizing solution or things like that. And the BP cuff also, one size can almost fit almost everybody.
How often does one individual need to monitor?
So glucose or sugar level, right? It all depends. Let's say if you have recently been diagnosed, okay, then you would want to do it a bit more often, maybe 4 times a day after a meal, to make sure that what you're eating, right, is correct and it doesn't bring up your sugar level very high. Pre-diabetes, you can do it once a day, and not just fasting, but we also suggest that you do it 2 hourly post-meal, right? Because the fasting level may be very good, but a 2 hourly post-meal is to see that whether what you're eating is right, and can your body, or what we call the pancreas, the organ, is it producing enough insulin to utilize the sugar that is being produced from what you eat.
Okay, interesting. So, how about blood pressure then?
Okay, blood pressure we actually advise you to do once every early morning when you wake up. Why? Because that is the time when you're the most relaxed. So you get one reading then. Or let's say at any time of the day where you're feeling giddy, not well, sit down, at least rest for about 20 to 30 minutes, then do your reading. Then you will know. Some elderly, sometimes they feel like when they sit down, they're okay. Suddenly when they stand up, they get very giddy. So check a blood pressure. Then we might what you call a postural hypotension. Yeah, the BP suddenly drops. So this is all good to know so that you can actually inform your doctor accordingly, and then they can do the correct thing.
How about cholesterol and uric acid then? How often do we need to check?
Cholesterol, as you know, very closely linked to heart problems, right?
Yes.
So we would want to check it at least maybe once a month, although you do it regularly in the hospitals, right? Maybe 3 monthly. But it's also good to do it monthly at home because at least you know that what you're eating is correct. Then you can at least take measures to know that, okay, I need to cut down on this and that so that, you maintain your levels, at least you don't go high.
So
right?
you adjust your diet or your lifestyle
Accordingly,
Yes.
correct. Same goes for uric acid. Suddenly you find that you have the joint pains and all that. Do check. There's no harm in checking, right?
Yeah.
And if you already have high uric acid, this would be a guide. Okay, you know then you cannot eat the anchovies because it's going to bring it high. It will give you pain. So then you know that, I can eat certain things in moderation, it doesn't give me that pain.
Thank you so much, Sabrina, for your sharing for today. It's really an insightful knowledge that you have shared today. Hi, Kaki Watsons! Feel free to visit your nearest Watsons Pharmacy store to learn more about self-home monitoring.